I've already made a few videos on what different Rangers and teams that we could see in Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, but there's one team that I specifically left out because I thought they deserved their own video, and that team is Power Rangers Hyperforce. For those of you that don't know, Power Rangers Hyperforce is a tabletop RPG that aired in 2017 leading into 2018, and it aired alongside Power Rangers Ninja Steel. The show starred some familiar faces such as Paul Schreier and Peter Sudarso, but also had a bunch of cameos from the likes of Aaron Cahill, Karen Ashley and Jason David Frank. Hyperforce, whilst not created in the traditional Power Rangers way, is officially deemed as canon and acts as sort of like a season 2 to Power Rangers Time Force. Since the show came out, I really wish that we could see it in the main continuity somehow, even if it's just a reference, especially since in the same year Peter Sudarso was playing Preston and Marv. I thought there'd be the perfect opportunity. Sadly, 5-6 years later, there's still no sign of it in the original continuity, and with the rumours that Cosmic Fury is going to be the last series of like the main timeline, this is our last chance. However, luckily enough, the stars do align for this dream to possibly become a reality. Now for starters, Hyperforce does take place in the year 3016, so it makes sense that none of the Rangers know about that team yet. However, there is a lot of time travel involved. Most notably, when they time travel back to the year 2005 and they actually meet Tommy Oliver as Dino Thunder Black. I'd like to think it's kind of like SPD, where it always took place in the future, but their presence was just sort of always there. You know how like the Rangers knew about SPD and like Bridge would be in the crossover, even though the show still hasn't happened yet as of this time, as of like the real world. With all of that said, let's break down Hyperforce's biggest link to Cosmic Fury. Hyperforce's Red Ranger, Marv, is from the planet Cayenne. Cayenne? I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but we'll call it Cayenne. Now what was originally just a cool reference is that Cayenne is actually the name of the home planet of Lucky in Q Ranger. And of course Q Ranger is the season that Power Rangers are lightly adapted, you know, because they're using the Zords. Now within the Q Ranger universe, the planet Cayenne is actually in what's called the Shishi system, which translates roughly to the Lion system. And of course we know a familiar face returning in Cosmic Fury is going to be Mechanic, who is from the Lion Galaxy. Now I know Power Rangers and Super Said they're two completely separate universes, and I know that Lion System and Lion Galaxy, just vague references. However, this reference is definitely a stepping stone in the right direction. It's like in Dino Charge when they had like the Kyoryuger Galaxy and Sentai 5. Now moving away from how they could be connected, let's talk about how we can actually get them in the show. We know that the substitutes for the Q-Tamas are actually going to be called Cosmic Orbs.
Cosmic Orb! Ready to Morphin Grid!
Maybe they were originally from Cayenne. Maybe that's where they are in this clip. I mean, if we are going off the theory that it's in the Lion Galaxy, it would totally explain why Mick shows up. Another simpler way of doing it is just a verbal reference. Maybe Billy or Mick knows about a future team called Hyperforce because of talking to Tommy Oliver or somebody like that. Maybe in Cosmic Fury there's a moment of crisis and they need to utilize Mick's Ranger database to get some information on other Rangers, and Hyperforce is just one of the name drops. These are of course the ways of doing it without costing the show's budget. However, if we are putting a bit of budget aside, there are some other ways. One way of doing this is seeing Hyperforce Rangers amongst archival footage, again, maybe in Mick's Ranger database. Of course this comes at the cost of making the physical suits, but you could definitely cut the costs on not bringing the actors back and just having stunt guys in the suit. And it doesn't even have to be all the Rangers. We don't need to remake all of the suits. Even if it's just one Ranger, it's still enough to show that it's in the main universe. Of course, I'd love to see them all, but personally, I'd really love to see Eddie, Jack, or Vesper. Final option is of course that an actor does just reprise their role as the character, whether they're morphed or unmorphed. Since Kelson Henderson is returning as Mechanic, maybe Peter Sudarso could have come back, seeing as they're from the same season and they probably know each other. And I know that knowing another actor doesn't mean that they'll come back, but it's an easier connection and they're from the same season. Other than Peter Sudarso and Paul Schreier, the rest of the cast are online personalities, so I don't know how that would have worked in terms of flying them over to New Zealand, whether they're in unions or not, I'm not sure, so it makes more sense to just have the ones that are already actors. Of course, if any of this did happen, the in-show reason could have been that the Hyperforce Rangers travelled back in time to warn the Cosmic Fury Rangers of a threat. I mean, it could fully lead into like another storyline in Hyperforce if they ever bring that back for season 2. Just anything to explain their presence in 2023 would work fine. Don't get me wrong, I know this is a long shot, but since the release, Hyperforce has genuinely become a fan favourite, not only of mine, but of just many other people that I've seen across the internet. I'd love to see it happen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I have so much more Power Rangers content planned leading all the way up to the release of Cosmic Fury, especially with Mighty Morphin Month Season 3. I also have a lot of content spanning over Instagram and TikTok, so check them out in the description below if you haven't. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.